How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We have a nice, beautiful day. Today, I'm going to make a video about who I think is going to be the cover athlete of MLB The Show 22. I'm going to give you a few ideas. Be sure to let me know in the comments section your ideas and thoughts of who's going to be the cover athlete for MLB The Show 22. Now, before I tell you who I think my cover athlete is going to be, I'm going to go through some of the history, did a little bit of research, and found out when each MLB The Show, since MLB The Show 11, when they announced the cover athletes. This kind of gives us a rough estimate of when they are going to be releasing this cover athlete. And let me tell you right now, now is the time. It really is. Especially with MLB The Show winding down with their content. Finals just came out. The World Series is over. Free agency is buzzing. There's some good young names out there. But going back through history, you know, I thought maybe I could find a pattern, find something where there is MLB The Show releases the cover athletes at a certain time. Let's go over this real quick, starting with MLB The Show 11. MLB The Show 11 was a PS3 title, and the cover athlete was announced back in December of 2010, on December 16th to be exact. It was Joe Mauer on the cover. So first off, we got a December cover athlete announcement. So that's one in December. MLB The Show 12 cover was announced earlier the following year on November 9th. 2011. So we got one December, one November. And then came in MLB The Show 13, where the cover wasn't announced until January 13th, 2013. But they did something unique. They did a vote for the cover athlete. They had 7 players, including the cover athlete winner, Andrew McCutchen. They also had CeCe Sabathia, Buster Posey, Ryan Braun, Bryce Harper, Matt Kemp, and Miguel Cabrera. And they voted on Facebook. They said they had over 500,000 votes, and Andrew McCutchen was the cover. We fast forward again after MLB The Show 13, after the fan vote, they did that. MLB The Show 14 was the first year it was going to be on PS4, and it was Miguel Cabrera on the cover. Now, it kind of makes sense. They showed it off in November. The cover announcement was November 4th, 2013. It made sense, too, because it was going to be on the next-gen console, so they kind of wanted to show off some of the new stuff early on. And unlike MLB The Show 21, there was no pandemic going on in 2014, so they're able to kind of do that type of stuff. We're looking at it right now. We got 2 November, 1 December, 1 January. MLB The Show 15, we went back to December. December 6, 2014 to be exact, was the cover athlete announcement of Yasiel Puig. A little bit later, but they still got him before the new year, unlike the January in 2013. Now in MLB The Show 16, another December announcement. December 5th this time, 2015, and that cover athlete was Josh Donaldson. After Josh Donaldson was announced in MLB The Show 16, MLB The Show 17 went a little bit different direction. Instead of going with players that were just active in the MLB, they went with a legend. And of course, if you're thinking about video games, you're thinking about legends in video games. He was on the cover of a lot of games. Ken Griffey Jr. on the cover. I mean, Griffey was just an icon for video games and baseball back in the day. And they announced that cover in October. That's right, in October. One of the earliest announcements for a cover athlete, October 27th, 2016. I actually remember that moment and where I was at. I was driving along the road. I had to pull over on the side of the road and be very excited for about 20 minutes. I ain't gonna lie. Then we fast forward to MLB The Show 18, and we get another November announcement. November 6th again. November 6th, 2017 to be exact. They announced Aaron Judge on the cover of MLB The Show 18. We all remember MLB The Show 18. They also did a beta or an alpha in December, so it made sense for them to release it or announce the cover a little bit early and then get an alpha going to try to get some feedback on some of the issues. And then we go to MLB The Show 19, and right after the World Series, they announced the cover athlete of Bryce Harper. It kind of made sense to announce him because they weren't sure where he was going to go yet. And so they were basically going to piggy bank off the hype of Bryce Harper signing somewhere, going to get a massive contract deal. And so they put Bryce Harper on the cover. They had kind of a blank canvas background. And then when he ended up signing with the Phillies later on, they changed it to him into a Phillies uniform, but kept everything else the same. We really got this early November announcement time for MLB The Show covers. Kind of the trend right now. It's either early November or early December. Right now, the only thing later than that was a fan vote, and that was different in January. And then we go to MLB The Show 20. This one was earlier. This was during the postseason too. Maybe they're trying to capture some of the postseason hype and see how that would do and affect their game. And they announced Javier Baez as the cover athlete on October 21st, 2019. So that was an October release date. That was earlier than Griffey, but I guess, like I said, they're trying to capture that postseason hype, and you know, it was a pretty good game. Then we go to MLB The Show 21. Now this was a little bit different situation, obviously with the pandemic going on. Not released and announced until February 1st, 2021. The game was actually launched during the MLB season in April. That's never a thing. Usually MLB The Show is released right before the regular season starts to get that hype going, but with the pandemic, they needed a little bit extra time to work on the game and finish a few things, and so they postponed the release for about 2 weeks. So going over it, we got 2 October, 4 November, 3 December, 1 January, 1 February. So if you do the math and everything else between, obviously October's already gone. November, just about gone. So I'm going to be guessing, if I had to guess right now, they're back in the studio too, because the last Twitch stream, they're in the studio. I'm going to go with an early December cover athlete announcement. I don't think it's going to be till January, February. I could be wrong. Maybe it is going to be a January announcement, but I think December kind of fits in their mold right there. They kind of bounce around a little bit. The only times that they were post after the new year was January was a fan vote, and then in last year with the pandemic, they didn't announce until February for now Tatis Jr. So with all that being said about the dates, thinking about December, I'm going to give you a few ideas of players that could be on the MLB The Show 22 cover. You got to think about it too. These players have to be marketable. They got to be popular out there. They're just not going to pick somebody that's not as popular. Don't be saying Mike Trout's not popular. I know he's not as marketable as people think, but you know what? Mike Trout's one of the best players in baseball. But honestly, you also want to think about players that are trending as well. And one of those players trending, he won MVP this year. You got to think about Shohei Ohtani having a dual cover too. He actually came into the studio back when he was first in the league and did motion cap. And they showed some footage of him coming to the studio, getting his motion cap, getting him ready so he could be in the MLB The Show game. Now, if it's not going to be Shohei Ohtani on the cover, another marketable player who finished second in the MVP voting is Vlad Jr. Now, MLB The Show sometimes does Canadian cover, so maybe Vlad could be on the Canadian cover, but I feel like he's such a big name. He's living up to his father's name as well. Vlad Jr. would be a great cover athlete, be popular. I mean, that dude just killed it this year. You know, he's got the family genes with his dad, Vlad Sr. He's a marketable player, probably up there in jersey sales. I didn't look at jersey sales, but he's probably up in the top 5. I'm not lying. I got a Vlad Jr. jersey as well, so I could definitely see him there. It'll be really, I like his swing too. Great young personality. Kind of reminds me of just got a lot of energy too. And speaking about young personalities, another one for the Washington Nationals, we got to think about Juan Soto. Remember Juan Soto back in the postseason when he played against the Astros, won the World Series in 2019, and just him facing Verlander and everything. You know, that was just such a fun thing to watch. And he's a young talent out there, got a lot of, spunk, got a lot of personality. He's popular. You know, I believe he finished 3rd in the NL MVP voting this year. So I could definitely see a Juan Soto on the cover. Now, a surprise could be, something that's not talked about a whole lot. They could have a repeat person come back on the cover. Someone that comes to mind is Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper had an insane season this year. Won MVP, deserved it. And, he was on the cover of MLB The Show 19, has a good relationship with MLB The Show. Then you got Joe Mauer out there who's on back-to-back covers. So they could go back to Bryce Harper out there. He had a great season in Philadelphia. There's 4 ideas right there of marketable players that they could be. If I had to think of any other names that could sell jerseys or sell covers or sell MLB The Show games, man, I would love to see Mike Trout on the cover, low-key. I know Mike Trout has a contract with another company, and I don't think he's going to be on there, but Mike Trout, best player in baseball, should be on the cover. In all honesty, I don't see, some names like Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Trevor Story. Those folks probably won't be on the cover. They're great baseball players. Don't get me wrong, but they're just not that huge marketable player. Now, with all those my ideas right there, let me know down in the comment section your thoughts and opinions on who's going to be the cover athlete for MLB The Show 22. Let me know when you think that MLB The Show 22 cover is going to be announced. Is it going to be December? Is it going to be January? Is it going to be February again? I hope it's soon, man. I don't think we get a gameplay trailer until like late January, early February, but I could definitely see an announcement early December. And I'm all excited for MLB The Show 22 already. I really am. But hey, thank you for watching this video. If you do these types of videos, be sure to leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, enjoy the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications, all that fun stuff. Tell me I'm beautiful. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out. Bye.